So, Prison Playbook is a Korean drama on Netflix, but honestly, it feels much less like a drama and much more like a human portrait. A series that tries to show the people behind the bars and to suggest that a person is more than the reason they were in prison. At the center of the story is a promising baseball player who ends up in prison after attacking the man who assaulted his sister. What began as self defense turned into chasing the attacker and hurting him directly. From that point on, the show focuses almost entirely on life inside the prison. But there are a few things that just didn't work for me. First, where's the drama? Yes, his appeal gets rejected and the attacker ends up brain dead, but in practice, there is no real drama here. Every time the story seems to move toward a serious conflict, it gets resolved way too quickly. The prison director is always on our main character's side. He managed to get rid of the bad character through clever tricks, and honestly, everything falls into place pretty easily. This is a comedic, human centered show, not a drama. And that would be totally fine if that is the show's attention. It's not Prison Break, there is no tension, no real danger, no oh no, what now moments. It's more like relax, everything will be fine. Then there is the whole thing about the past scenes. The show jumps between past and present. On the one hand, this can be a great tool, understanding the prisoners, learning what led them to jail, deepening their characters, and for some of them it actually works. But then comes the main character's love story, and half an episode is dedicated to it every single time. Each episode is an hour and a half. Yes, a full hour and a half, and almost half of it is spent on romantic flashbacks that doesn't really contribute to the plot. My screenwriting professor always said a flashback should serve the present. It should reveal something new, meaningful, something that changes how we understand the character. And here, that just doesn't happen. They love each other. We knew that from the first minute. It's not connected to the prison storyline. This doesn't drive the plot and it doesn't change anything in the present. It feels like a completely different show glued onto this one. If the relationship had ended in pure hatred and we started the present with that tension and then saw how it slowly shifts into forgiveness, maybe it would work. If the past scenes showed how love turned into real resentment, and the present showed the opposite journey, I would accept this subplot. But that's not the case. The only thing from the past that does work is a small detail, the fact that he was accepted to the team only because he's left-handed. That does add a layer to his character, but beyond that, the entire love story arc feels disconnected. Now, something that really bothers me, what is going on with Korean law? I'm not an expert in South Korean law, but there is one storyline that made me raise an eyebrow. Very high. There is a prisoner who has served 22, 23 years out of 25-year sentence. He talks about a friend from his past, someone too gentle for the criminal world who received the death penalty. And that's where I lost trust in the logic of the story. It was a fight between two gangs. The rival gang started it. The gentle friend could barely function. But when our prisoner was about to be killed, he rushed in with a knife to protect him. He attacked another criminal, not an innocent person. And for that, he got the death penalty. Meanwhile, in the same prison, there are gang bosses, people who planned the murders, people who carried them out, and they're all just serving time. There is even an older man who planned the murder of 3 men who assaulted his daughter, and he's also just serving time. But this gentle guy who acted out of fear and loyalty gets the death penalty? Something here just doesn't end up. Despite everything, there is something beautiful in the way the show portrays rehabilitation. It doesn't sugarcoat reality. For example, the sweet drug addict character, we all wanted him to succeed, but the moment he's released, he immediately falls back into drugs. It's painful and it's real. The show does manage to show us how hard it is to leave behind the world you came from, how rehabilitation isn't a straight line but a complicated path.